Hey guys, Andy here. So recently I was contacted by a chap called Bob who's doing a Kickstarter campaign for his new phone charger. So did I want to try it out? I said of course I do. So he popped one in the post for me. It's a magnetic wireless charger. I guess in some ways quite similar to the one that I homemade a couple of years ago for my Nexus 5. A couple of Put2Go stickers there in the box. Now obviously it's just kind of literally a plain brown cardboard box because it's not the retail version. It's pretty much kind of almost, I suppose, like I forget what you call them, like almost like a beta type thing. There are a couple of wireless charging pads included should you need them. I don't. My Note 5 has wireless charging. There's a micro USB cable, feels a little bit thin and flimsy, and then the actual charging pad. So it feels fairly solid. It feels a reasonable weight. It's got a kind of a clamp which will clamp onto my air vent, and then of course the micro USB in at the bottom of it. It does spin round but not too easily, so it feels fairly firm. The bit of a rubber lining, not so neatly put on the front, but as I say, this is kind of almost like a demo version, I suppose. Hopefully the retail one will be a bit better polished, shall we say. So that's how my phone was stuck on. Well, okay, that's interesting. Is the magnet strong enough? Is the surface got enough resistance with the rubber? Well, I guess there's only really one way for me to find out, and that's for me to give it a go. So out to the car we go. I clip it onto the air vent. It goes in reasonably easy. It's a little awkward getting to the button around behind, but once we're there, easy enough. And it looks, it looks quite nice. It's, as far as phone mounts go, it's fairly discreet. I'm using my own cigarette lighter socket. We connect the phone on, and there we go. We see it starts to charge. So everything seems okay at this point. Looks pretty good. Seems to be holding fairly firm. You can see there that it's charging. It's not obviously sort of a fast charge or anything like that. It's not a Samsung specific type device, but we can see that it is charging. It's actually fairly sturdy on the vent, but there is a bit of movement because the vent itself behind will move. If you try and sort of pull it off the vent, it's pretty well clamped on actually. It's quite a strong clamp behind it, and I'm putting quite a bit of force on that and it's not going anywhere. So hopefully that's sturdy enough for my heavy Note 5. It feels quite good in position on the magnet, so I guess it's time to take it for a drive. Let me make sure the battery log's running, see how that gets on. So it's quite a neat device as you can see, really, because obviously there's nothing around the side of the phone. It's almost like the phone's magically staying there. But the first problem I had was actually as I turned hard right, it slid off and into my lap. Luckily no damage to the phone. So I put it back on again, and I sort of tried to corner a bit more carefully, but as I turned left at a next junction, it slid off and fell onto the passenger seat. So there was number one, a big problem. Then the next one was the rate of charge. So it doesn't use the fast charge by any means. It started on 82% when I set off, or maybe 83, you can see, and it just kind of hovered around there, and actually almost half an hour later when I took it off, it was 80%. So even though it was technically charging, it dropped a few percent in its usage. So those are a couple of fairly big problems, really. One, it doesn't hold the phone on safely, and two, it doesn't really charge the phone, which makes it a little bit useless. So I went back to Bob and told him the problems I'd had. At this point, all he could say was that they were thankful for my feedback and they developed some form of adapter that would ship with the finished product. They only have one of these adapters right now, so they couldn't send me one, but maybe they will in time, and I can do another video to see how it is at that point. So the one I've tested, not really any use at all, but hopefully this adapter will make it much better. That's all for now. My name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.